Hello, my name is Meg. I want to thank you guys for coming in today. I wanted just to introduce myself, a little bit about myself. I'll be your provider for couples therapy for the next 8 or 10 weeks, give or take. We'll meet once every other week for 10 sessions. I know we did a brief intake over the phone where I got to know both of you a little bit. We talked about some of the things going on in your lives, but I just wanted to introduce myself, and I really would like to know what brings you to treatment today, like what brings you here to me. You want to share first, Megan?
Yeah, well, I guess my drinking has kind of become a problem in our relationship. She kind of thinks that I should stop drinking, but I really don't think, like, I do get drunk every day, but it's not like at work, it's not interfering at work, it's not really like affecting my life. It's just something I like to do like at night to relax, and I like don't see it as a problem, but it's causing a lot of fights with us.
Okay. So you personally, you drink every day, you said. You enjoy it. You don't really think it's a problem, but you can see it kind of coming in between the two of you.
Yeah, it definitely has caused like tons of fights between us, and like we've been like on the rocks kind of because of it, but it's kind of, I feel like that's my thing that I like to do, and I don't know if I'm like really willing to like give it up. I feel like I shouldn't have to.
Okay. Can you give me a brief little history of like maybe when you started to drink? How many, I mean, you said daily, so how long has that been going on? How much do you drink per day? Have you noticed any patterns?
Well, I mean, I've been drinking since I was like 16.
Okay.
I guess it's, I mean, really since I've been 21 and 34, so every day since then, pretty much. It has been getting a lot more, like, it started off just like a couple drinks at night, and now I'm up to like a bottle or two of wine, sometimes more than that, every night.
So you have noticed that it's becoming increasingly more amount?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say it's probably like 2 bottles of wine every night, and it's like, I guess it's expensive.
So you notice the price is also kind of causing you seeing that raise. Okay. Well, thank you for that information and the honesty. Kelsey, tell me kind of what your views are. So how do you see the drinking? I know you mentioned some arguments you guys get into, so kind of tell me what your views are, just so we can hear your side.
Right, well, you say that like drinking is your thing, but it seems like that's like now the only thing. That everything kind of revolves around like when you get home, you start drinking right away until like, I go to bed, because I go to bed before you, because I just am not going to stay up and just like drink all night.
Right.
You know, that's just not my thing. And that's just kind of all we do now. We used to do things that were a little more fun, you know, activities, go out, do things, and everything is just kind of revolved around like drinking.
Okay.
And we've been introduced to some, I don't know, we call it riffraffs, like new friends that just, I'm just not like, I don't know, I don't like them very much. They're just not my kind of people.
Fine, they just like to go out.
Well, let's let Kelsey give her side. I know you got your turn, so let's have her talk.
And it just, you know, just like you said, just I've noticed just more, just increasing lately, and it's just something I've noticed, and you're just not like who you used to be, and it's just a little disheartening, and I'm just getting nervous because we have a baby on the way, and I just feel like we need some intervention to help us kind of get off the rocks, because we're just kind of in a place where we're not really connecting, we didn't do the things we used to, we don't hang out with the people we used to, and we're just kind of, I don't know, it's just not fun anymore, because it's just drinking all the time.
Okay, so you kind of see it can becoming more increasingly like the days and the time spent with her drinking, and you notice that you're not doing the things you used to do, the things you used to enjoy. You're noticing some new friends around that you're not entirely sure about. And I know you said you have a baby on the way, so you have some pretty big concerns about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it is a stressful thing, kind of like, you know, becoming a new parent, like you don't really know what to expect, and like I think that may be like part of that might increase my drinking, just like thinking about it gets
Yeah.
kind of overwhelming.
Big life change,
Yeah.
both of you.
And not that I don't want to have a baby,
Right.
but it's just like a huge change that's
Yeah.
stressful to think about,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like easy to drink and forget about it for a
Mhm.
while, or like go out and like have people around that are just like, you know, not talking about stressful things with me.
Well, and
it's
that's the problem where instead of talking about it, we're just gonna run away and like have some fun instead of like, you know, talk about the issue at hand and then like move forward.
So you kind of see it as an escape from like the real life, you know, big changes you have, and you're looking at it more like we need to work through those big changes because escaping from them really isn't gonna
Yeah,
help
because
in
we'll
the
just
long
keep going
run.
back to like the same argument that we have all the time, and nothing ever gets fixed, and it just stays the same, and it's like a perpetual
Yeah.
cycle.
Can you give me a little bit more information about like the arguments, or I mean, you said like the big argument, or like kind of like what does the main argument look like? I mean, what does that look like to you guys?
Well, it'll just be like, you know, she gets on to her second bottle of wine, and I'm like, you know, how about instead we like just go to bed and watch a movie, you know, and then it just never works.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like I like to like laugh and have fun, and like I get that like you use movies to unwind. I feel like I use wine to unwind, and like it's my preference to like, I don't know, be more social instead of watching a movie, I think. And so I think a big part of it is then I do go out and she stays home and watches a movie or hangs out at home, and it's like, and I go out with friends, and then she gets worried about me if I'm out late, or like worried about what I'm doing, or if I'm making it home, or
Well, yeah, wouldn't you be worried if I'm like laying in bed and I'm like, I don't even know if she'll be home tonight, you know?
Can I share with you what I'm hearing right now? I'm hearing that you care really a lot about Megan. That, you know, some of the behaviors you're partaking in are, you know, causing you a lot of worry because you care about her. Is that, am I listening? Am I hearing correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I think I'm hearing too that it seems like a social thing for you, like, you know, out with friends, have a drink, and for you, Kelsey, it's more like I want to spend, you know, a more intimate time and watch a movie and spend time just the two of you, but you're not really on the same page with that.
Absolutely. Well, and I can be social too, and you can be social, you just don't have to be like drunk and social.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's part of it. Like when I am drinking, like I do kind of, you know, forget like Kelsey's needs, because I'm like focused on, you know, just like going out and doing stuff and kind of like going with whatever's happening, and or like whatever I feel like happening. And I know that's a problem. Like I know that part of it is, and I like try to work on it, but it just gets, you know, like it kind of gets into a vicious cycle where then like if I do something and we get in like an argument, and then it kind of snowballs, and then I do like the whole thing over again.
Makes a lot of sense. Can you guys share with me some of the things you like about each other, your relationship, what goes well, what you guys, I mean, I don't want this to be like all of the negatives, and you guys are together, you have a baby on the way, like what's going well?
Well, Kelsey's like the funniest person I know.
I was gonna say the same about you, so.
Yeah.
So humor is really important to you guys find.
Yeah, and I think like when we do spend time together, it's always like, it's usually positive. It's more like always like we have a good time. We have shared hobbies, and you know, like
Our families get along. I mean, we always have fun together, and I like how you're really good at your job, and you know, I want to raise a baby with you. But it's hard when the negative is just outweighing the positive right now, and it's kind of, you know.
Yeah. Can I ask you whose idea was it to come in? I mean, I think I know, Megan, you said that you're drinking, you don't really see it as a problem, but you did list quite a few things that you're noticing that is kind of causing an issue, so.
Yeah, and it's like stuff we've talked about too,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, I think it was a mutual decision because, I mean, I want this to work and I want to raise a family and
Mhm.
stuff, and I don't want to be like the reason that it doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Okay, so it's like a mutual, you guys talked about it and figured this might be a good avenue to kind of work on the things that you both want to change and find that happiness again and get on the same page. Okay, perfect. So let's just talk briefly, like what are some goals? Like what are some things that we can work towards while we're talking? I can give you a couple of examples like communication, the way that I know a lot of the times when we talk out of emotion, right? We're not really thinking about how what we say affects the other person. So that's a big one that, a lot of couples want to work on. Is there anything else you can think about?
I think communication is a big one. I think just understanding each other and where we're both coming from.
Yeah.
And just hearing each other instead of just listening. I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah, like, yeah, not thinking about what you're gonna say before the other person's done talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and one of the things that we always kind of try to talk about too is using I statements. So instead of saying you're doing this wrong, you're doing this, saying I feel this way when this happens, instead of that blaming, like, using those I statements so that you can share how you're feeling and how such and such behavior is affecting you is a more effective way to communicate. So kind of working towards that. Yeah, that sounds really good. Is there anything else you guys need from me, you want to discuss? I mean, are you guys, I guess I really want to know too, do you guys both feel safe in your home? Do you feel safe together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yes, with her. I think I'm happy to hear that you feel safe with me because, I'm the one that's got the issues. So.
You know what, I just, from, the last few, 10-15 minutes we've been talking, you just kind of owned up that you do have an issue. Did you notice that you said that? Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
That's huge to kind of own that.
I guess it's easier when you're talking it out with somebody else as opposed to just being in it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, you kind of use, the bottles of wine to escape, so it's easy to not realize what's happening when you're escaping. And then when you are intoxicated, of course you're not thinking rationally. You're not thinking about, is Kelsey worrying about me? Because you're not in your right mind. So that makes a lot of sense.
Well, and then it's impossible to have a conversation,
Right.
because it was just we might as well wait until the next day or something.
Yeah. Can I ask if you have any possible names for the baby? Is that an area that we need to work on?
Tiffany?
Tiffany.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my favorite so far.
Are you due, you said February, I thought you said?
February,
Okay,
yeah.
well that's exciting. Well, I think there's a lot that we can work on. I think you guys are both very willing to be here, which is really commendable, and I applaud you for that. And I think that we have a good, foundation to get work going.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you for your time today. We'll meet next week. We'll have a 90-minute session. This was kind of just, the introduction type part. So we'll meet and let me know if you guys need anything in the meantime.
All right, thanks.